Good morning to all. Myself Shavasana, and today we are going to discuss on a very interesting question, which is why are there only 360 degrees? So let's start discussing about that. Have you seen, have you ever noticed the number of days in a year? I think, right? So how many days are in the year? 365 days. But what is this year means? This year means the revolution time of the earth around the sun. Now, as we already learned that exact time of the earth, the revolution time of the earth is basically 365.25 days, which is basically 365 days and yes 6 hours, which is 2.25 is just 1/4 of the day, which is 6 hours. So very simple. Now, as we already learned, as we already know that the exact time is this much, now let's see something. So as we know that the earth revolves around the sun, and what happens that when we see from the earth, it seems like the sun is going to move or going to rotate on its own axis at 1/365. Let me explain you. So let's see. So let's say that here is the sun, here is the earth revolving around it. Now, as we already know that it takes 365.25 days. Now, if earth is over here, so which part of the sun is visible to us? Right, this side of the sun is visible to the earth. What happens if the earth will move like this over here? So if the earth is going to move over here, this part of the sun is going to be visible to the earth. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when we are going to see from the earth, the sun seems like it is moving 1/365. Why is that? Because it is the time taken by the earth revolve around the sun is the 365. So if the earth takes 365, let's say one day completes over here, then one day completes over here, and then another day here. So like this 365 days go on. So when we come over here, the new side of the sun is going to be visible to us. And I think you got an idea. So that means from the earth, if we will look at the sun very carefully, we can't notice that at all. But the sun, from the earth, the sun appears to move 1/365 days. 1/365. Now, let's see. So this is the answer. As we already know that at the ancient time and many centuries ago, the people has no instruments and the modern technology that they could find the accurate days, accurate revolution time of the earth. And they just look and then estimated, the astronomers of that time estimated that there could be 360 days taken by the earth to revolve around the sun. I think you got the answer. And the astronomers then decided to divide all the circles into 360 parts. And each part is known as, yes, degrees. So that was why are there only 360 degrees on a circle. So they had taken the idea from this and just divide all the circles into 360 parts, and then, as we already know, there are only 360 degrees. I think you are clear with that. And do you know, if you are going to visit in a museum, if you are lucky, then you can see the ancient Babylonian and Persian calendars, and in that also supports the 360 days in a year. The ancient Babylonian and also the Persian calendars. Let me write down that both. Ancient Babylonian and Persian calendars. I am talking about these two. So you are going to see that there are also 360 days in a year. So I think that's clear. That is clear to you. Why are there only 360 degrees in a circle? Now let's see something very interesting. Now how can you measure the angle? I think you know that by the unit of measuring the angles are the degrees. Very simple. Now, as we had already learned that in the total there are 360 degrees. So how can you measure that? I think you know one very special and interesting instrument which is used for measuring the angles. Right. Protractor, and that is going to help us to measure the angles. As you know that the protractor looks something like this, the semicircle. So how many degrees, maximum degrees could it measure? Okay, let me tell you how it can measure the 360 degrees whole. Right? But how many degrees are marked in it? 180. Why is that? Because it is a semicircle and the whole circle contains the 360 degree, and then after that, as we already know that if I am going to divide that circle, just divide 360 to the 2. 360 divided by 2, which is 180. Now, in the protractor, only 180 degrees are mentioned. And I think you know that how to measure. Right. So as I think that here is the point. The vertex should be placed over here. And these are the lines. And then the degrees are mentioned like this and so on. Now, how you are going to measure the angle? Very simply. So, if there is one angle, place your protractor, and this point indicates the vertex. So, what you have to do, you have to just place the vertex of the angle at this point. And then, your first ray, this one, should align with the protractor over here like this. Then let's say this is an acute angle, so it will be like this. Your angle will align like this. Listen, this is a one angle. So you have to place your protractor like this. The vertex should meet at the center point of the protractor. Sorry, not the center point, at this point of the protractor which is marked, and then the first ray should align with at this point. Then you could only see this one, simply see this one and say, okay, this is this much degrees. Now how you will show that? For showing this, let's see, for showing this, let's say by the diagram, like this, you are going to show. As you can look over here that when we align the protractor like this edge, not the edge, this outline, the outline of the protractor just makes something like this figure, this like this. This one over here. So how do we show that how many degrees does that angle have? Like this. And let's say it is let's say 30 degree. So how we are going to write this? Very simple. Like this. 30 degree. Very simple. Now let's see one more thing over here. So we have talked that how to measure the angles between or below the 180 degree or less than 180 degree. So how could we measure 360 degree? Or how could we measure any reflex angle? We talked about the angles, right? So how can we measure the reflex angles? For that, very simple thing you have to do. Take your particular, let's say this is the one reflex angle and you have to measure that. This much it is. Now, basically what you have to do, as you already know that how many degrees are going to be like this one, like this. This much is going to be, this much is going to be 180 degree. Now, this much, what you have to do, just flip your protractor and then you're going to measure this angle. Let's say it is 20 degree. So, just plus it out and you will get 100, basically 200 degrees at this case. So that's how you can measure 360 degree. Or as you already know, there are also the 360 degree protractor and you don't need to do this much work to find the degrees of a reflex angle. So now I think all the things about these angles is clear to you. And we are going to see a very interesting thing. Yes, we are going to discuss the materials, the very important and the basic materials of the geometry box. Let's see. So what are the materials, what are the things, what are the instruments that is needed in a geometry box? Let's see and spot that out. So first thing, as you already guessed, is right, the ruler. The ruler helps us to draw a line and also measure it. Now what could be the next one? So first which we had spotted is the ruler, which is nothing but the scale. Now the next thing, let's see what is the next one. We had discussed about the one which help us to, yes, to measure a line very accurately. Alright, yes, it is divider. First, place the divider like this. It looks like the compass. We had discussed about that, and if you couldn't find that video at the last, you can click on the link and then you can go through it. So, our next friend is the divider. third one. Okay, for your clue, let's say the instrument which help us to draw a circle. Very simple, a compass. Remember, not the direction, the compass which tells us direction, the mathematical instrument which was the compass which help us to, yes, to draw a circle. Very simple. Now let's move on to one more. What could be next? Right, set squares. Now, what are these set squares? So these are the set squares which, these are the instrument which help us to draw the perpendicular lines. Now you will ask, what is this perpendicular line? Very simple, this perpendicular line is just a 90-degree angle. Let me write down that. It is something like this. Like this. So these are the 90-degree angle which is formed. So this is the one perpendicular line. Now let's see. Now let me rough this out and let's move on to our another friend or another instrument of our geometry box, which is going to be, we had just learned about that, protractor. Protractor. So I think these are the some instrument which are basic instrument which is needed in our geometry box. And we had also learned about these. But let's see one more thing. Where we are going to discuss about the angles more. Yes, there is something more about the angles. Now we are going to discuss about a very special thing in the real life. So where we can see the angles in our real life or day-to-day life, in our home. Guess that? So we can see the angles many in many objects, but let's discuss about the one special one, the clocks. Basically the circular clocks, not the rectangular. Okay, we can see also the angles in the rectangular clock, but just let's talk about the circular clock first. So, if we are going to take a clock like this, and let's say it is 12, this 9, this 3, so I had got a one clock over here. I had drawn a one clock, and now we are going to discuss the angles in this. So let's say that there are already two hands, which is usually some or most of the clock has the two hand, which is the hour hand and the minute hand. And some of the clocks also have the second hand also. So let's imagine that this clock has a minute and an hour hand. So let's see right now. The minute hand over here, or let's say the hour hand is over here and the minute hand is over here. Now, are they forming any angle? Yes, they are forming the right angle at this time. Right? This one. It is not a straight one. Let me draw that. So basically at 3 o'clock we have a straight angle. Sorry, a right angle. Now let's discuss about that Indeed. So let's say I am going to give you one angle like this. Now, like this. So if we are going to discuss about this angle, can you accurately tell? Accurately without the protractor? By the observation. How much angle is this? How much degrees is this? So, for that, let's think about that. So, what is this clock is just divided into the 12 equal parts, right? Yes. And if you are going to do something very amazing, this is just divided into the 12 part. The circle is divided into the 12 part. So each part, how many degrees will each part will carry? Right. 360 divided by 12, which gives us 30 degrees. As 12 into 3, 36, and then put the 0, 30 degrees. So, I think it is clear, 360 divided by 12, because there are 360 degrees and our clock, this circle is divided only into 12 parts. So, how many degrees are going to be at each part, in each part? So, it is going to be 360 divided by 12. Now, I think you guessed, that means that 1 hour will carry 30 degrees each. So that means if my minute hand will go, let's say something like this at the 5, how many degrees are going to be there? Right. So if 1 hour will carry 30 degrees, so then 5 hours is going to carry 30 into 5, which is going to be 150. So very simple, we can tell that without any protractor. Let's just observe how many degrees are, how many hours are going on, hours are there, and then just calculate, just multiply that 30 degree with the number of hours, and then you will get how many degrees are there. So I think that we should end over here, and in my next video of this topic, we are going to learn, we are going to learn about the triangles, as we have learned about the line segments in this elementary shapes topic, and then we have learned about the angles, and after that what comes? The smallest polygon, our favorite one. Okay, my favorite. If it is yours, so nice. So, we are going to discuss about that triangle in my next video. So, for now, let's end over here. So, thank you for watching this video, and if you want any improvement in me, so you can comment it in the comment box. Thank you.